it with the respect that it deserves. But I think that there's hope. Like, I know the staff don't seem to treat it with respect that much, but I think that might contribute to it, but like, it's with our like cognitive dissonance, we like see that there's not much work that's being put into Tower, not much. I mean, there's all these renovations, like, yeah, they're trying to make the rooms better, but there's things like the elevators and stuff where we see that these things aren't being treated with respect, and there's not much being done about them, and they're just kind of sitting there and not looking that great. And we just rationalize to ourselves, well, if other people aren't treating it with respect, then why should I treat it with respect? But I think that if there's work that's put into the things like the elevators or like the second floor and like the lounge and stuff, and there's just more of a respect from higher ups too, I think that people will see that and go, wow, okay, I should really care about this place because it's nice, it looks nice, it's nice to live in, and I care to be here. And I think that there is definitely hope, and there's already that light at the end of the tunnel with all of these repairs being done. I mean, there's people that work here, like in the den. The den is great. It's on the second floor. Like, we can go to it. It's included with our meal plan. But it's just like they love to work here. You can tell they're so happy. But it's just, we see things like maintenance stuff that doesn't seem to be getting done. Just it's kind of sitting there, and it's just like, man, I wish this stuff was done. And it would just make this place a better place to live in, I think. So there is that light at the end of the tunnel, but there just needs to be that respect for it, and it's just not there yet. Yet is the key.
I really think there's a lot of promise in the Tower environment for the most part, especially with how this place used to be a hotel before it got changed into a dormitory building. I think that most of the rooms, well, maybe it would be a bit better for 2 people. They can fit 3 people comfortably in most cases. Sometimes it might get a bit cramped, but it's not that big a deal. And a lot of the staff are generally really friendly and willing to help in things, especially at the den, but I'm not going to go too deep into that. However, I do feel like some of the funds and the things that they use to just spend money on should generally be used on different things. For instance, I came from the 3rd floor, which this year, sometime around November, we had to move out of and relocate to different floors because they were doing renovations. Now, I understand that they probably couldn't have gotten them done, but this was not a vital procedure by any means, because there was nothing that was really harming us so that we had to move out. They were just sort of doing it so they could have nicer rooms, which is nice, but I would have preferred not to move out, and instead maybe that money could have been used on something like fixing the washers and dryers in the laundry room, because especially the dryers, they barely work, and I understand that it's a lot of money to get fixed, but if we didn't spend money on things like that and focused on the necessities, I feel that really they could be significantly improved, and that would just be a lot better for everybody. There's also the issue of the elevators as well, because, well, not only are they generally dirty and probably need to be cleaned more often, which is half an issue on the students for not treating them with respect, they also don't work a lot of the time as well. A lot of times they'll get stopped on our floor, specifically the 5th floor. And generally, I think if the elevators worked better, it would be less of a headache for everybody, and more funds should be allocated to those as well.
You know, everything is great here. I love living here. Resident of the 5th floor, great views. I guess as far as cleanliness could go, I think the whole building itself could be a little cleaner, especially, you know, in the elevators. People leave stuff or they drop stuff and they don't clean it up, and you know I don't want to stand in that while I'm trying to go up to my floor. And in the laundry rooms too. I feel like maybe people will spill detergent or fabric softener or whatever, you know, what have you. And they just won't clean it up. So I feel like as much as I do enjoy living here, I feel like the building itself could be could be a bit cleaner.
Hi, my name is Yusuf Suleiman. I have some comments to make about Tower. Firstly, I love the RAs here and the Tower Vice President and Tower President Zayd. Then I also Tower laundry here, laundry room. Constantly, it always takes me a while to do the laundry, so I would like an improvement in it. I also had trouble during Ramadan, like eating, so I would like the dining hall to be open earlier. And then I would also like an interfaith room for all religions, like to be able to have a space to pray. Then also the elevators, I would like it there to be a cleanliness policy, so people aren't like spilling pop over and have a sticky floor. And a elevator, like I heard that it used to be yellow, so something maybe refurbished for it, so it can have like a nicer environment of it. So yeah, that's all.
Hey, I'm Jay. A few things I really like about Tower is that I really like the gyms. It has great cardio machines and like a Peloton bike, and it's really easily accessible. It's even on my floor. I also really like the lounges. That's something that it's a great place for like me and my friends to study and get work done. Another thing I like is how close it is to like other places on campus, and how the dining hall is right there inside the dorm as well. A few things I think that could be improved would be potentially a few things related to the dining hall. I feel like the dining hall could look into using other sources of like oil, like maybe olive oil or avocado oil instead of seed oils, or like biodegradable, like biodiesel type fuels. And the same thing would go for receipts. I think that's also potentially a harm for some students as well. Besides that, I think having maybe a pool table or like table tennis in the dean's room would be great, alongside some tables or other general study spaces on the second floor.